Wang and Ms. Ku to share with us the insights and their ideas about the launch of the Shanghai Free Trade Zone. The Shanghai Free Trade Zone, which is being touted as one of the most important economic reforms since China began opening up in the 1980s. The economic model is very different from the one prevailing in mainland China nowadays. Businesses and banks will be able to enjoy greater freedom under investment, trade, and currency exchange. The plan is widely expected to be China's testing ground for major economic reforms, freeing up capital and commodity flows. Now, Ms. Wang, would you mind sharing with us some of your insights?
Yeah, there are major reforms in several aspects like trading, taxation, financial system, and foreign investment. The central government sees the Shanghai Free Trade Zone as a pioneer on the mainland, which makes yuan be convertible freely and easily. So interest rate will now be determined by market forces, and in other words, pricing can be done by financial institutions according to market needs. And in the country's tightly controlled service industry, measures to cut red tapes and restrictions for foreign investment have also been made. For example, foreign firms can now invest freely in the zone and also joint venture with state-owned enterprises. And in terms of trading, there is also a plan that allows foreign firms to set up their future delivery warehouses in the zone.
I see. So it also means that it will actually gradually approve foreign firms to participate in commodities futures trading in the free zone.
Yes, and on the other hand, if the first phase launch is proved a success and helping China to restructure its economy, that means the free trade zone will be expanded to other cities and in the next few years, and even the entire Pudong district, which covers like 1,200 square kilometers.
Right. So what are the potential benefits that could be brought by this free trade zone to, say, Shanghai or the whole China?
The government hopes the free trade zone will attract more foreign investment and liberalize the nation's foreign exchange and interest rate system, making capital flow much more easily. And having their own future delivery warehouses in the free trade zone can help domestic commodities buyers save trading and transportation costs. They can then rely less on foreign warehouses, for example, in South Korea's Busan and in Singapore.
So the plan is being seen as deeply significant, a sign that a country's leadership is preparing to test out important economic reforms. It covers financial liberalization, improvement of administrative systems, and freeing up of restrictions on investment and financing. It is a big step, but what are the potential obstacles and challenges that you see coming from this?
Yeah, one of the challenges would be the political frictions. Although various measures are planned at this stage, it may take years for them to get fully implemented. One reason is that officials would like to avoid the instability that may follow a big bang approach. And besides, given the various ministries, regulators, and levels of government involved, simply reaching agreement on how to proceed will prove difficult.
But besides political frictions, I do still remain cautious about the potential risks that may be brought by the greater convertibility of the yuan, which even within the zone. And we cannot be sure whether or not the government will give us allow full convertibility within the zone because of the excessive amount of inflows and outflows of the yuan, which may potentially jeopardize the growth of the economy. So, Professor Wong, what is your opinion on this?
Yeah, well, the huge ramifications and potential risks have resulted in the delays in the release of policy details. China needs to get the Shanghai program right so it can safely roll out to other areas. But China's economy is in transition. There are slowdown risks. So if we open up too fast before the economy is mature, there could be capital flight like what Southeast Asian countries have suffered during financial crisis.
Share with us some of the reactions or the perspectives that we are getting from, say, the public or the experts.
Views on Shanghai Free Trade Zone are largely two types: optimistic view or skeptical conservative view. On the optimistic side, many economists believe in the zone's potential benefits. are successful in Shanghai, they can be rolled out nationwide in entire China. Some economists believe that the plan is even crucial to invigorating the economy and unleashing its growth potential.
So does it mean that it is an important step forward for the growth of China's economy?
Yes, very optimistic view it is.
So Ms. Koo, could you give us more views from individuals who will be directly influenced by the plan, for example, say, investors?
Many people compare the zone in Shanghai with a similar zone in Shenzhen, which was created by Deng Xiaoping 20 years ago. Shenzhen was just a small village town only. The creation of the new Shenzhen city has been seen very crucial to open up China's economy to foreign trade and investment. But before Shenzhen, China was a very conservative and closed country. The difference between Shenzhen and Shanghai is that Shenzhen was open for manufacturers, whereas Shanghai will be for mainly service centers, and which is even bigger. And thus many mainland investors believe that Shanghai will trigger fresh investment and infrastructure spending. You can see how excited they are from increasing property prices in Shanghai and after the free trade zone related stocks.
So this is interesting. I think it was about a month ago where I did read an article about, on South China Morning Post, and they pressed the article and it said that Premier Li was facing some serious opposition, that he he lost his temper in the meeting. I mean, what do you think is happening here?
Yeah, some strong opposition arose from the internal government rather than the outside. Until the plan was launched, Premier Li had to face this severe conflicts, but despite all the opposition, the plan was successfully launched, and most of the analysts, economists, domestic foreign investors are looking forward to the future impact of this plan, and they somehow believe that the plan this time is more ambitious and more specific than the other past trials.
So from what you have mentioned earlier, the overall tone of reactions we get from the experts so far regarding the settlement of the Shanghai Free Trade Zone seem to be more on the optimistic side, and that's quite interesting. However, I am more interested about the reactions from Hong Kong. And actually, when I was flipping through the newspapers the day following Beijing's approval of Shanghai Free Trade Zone, and to my surprise, the news about Shanghai's new arrangement had not made it to the front pages of any major Chinese language newspapers in Hong Kong. And what do you think this may indicate, or should we ask, is Hong Kong a little too self-confident here?
Shanghai's ambitions to become the nation's economic engine, leapfrogging Hong Kong as a dominant financial hub in the region, are already an open secret. Shanghai's mayor Yang Xiong said after the announcement that the city's future hinged on the future in the free trade zone, which could give it a leg up over rivals.
Rivals? That's interesting that you use that word. Do you think Yang could be referring to Hong Kong here?
To be more realistic, this future trade deal, free trade deal for Shanghai will immediately threaten Hong Kong as the world's most important financial city, or as the business port. Because the cabinet wants to be run as the trial basis for the first phase, and then see if this such special zone can be expanded and copied to the other mainland cities in the future. And some Hong Kong people believe that Shanghai won't be acting as a competitor, but rather act as a supporter or customer to Hong Kong.
Right, but let me go back to the open secret you mentioned earlier. What is this secret about, and what are the possible agendas behind the secret?
Oh yes, so I had previously mentioned about short-term impacts. Now, in the long run, the Hong Kong government must ask itself, for example, what competitive strengths and advantage are unique to the city, and whether these can be kept for the next decade or two. And if not, then how can Hong Kong stay competitive rather than becoming just another mainland city lagging behind top-tier cities like Shanghai?
So what do you think about the future prospects of Hong Kong affected by the Shanghai Free Trade Zone? Do you think it'll be affecting the Hong Kong people positively, or would the policies actually serve the Hong Kong people as a threat? Thank you for coming to us today.